Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome here to the first episode of Know the Game. I'm Connor, and I'm joined here with Gavin.
Hello, everybody.
And this is Know the Game. I've done some episodes way in the past, and if you don't know what this is, it's just sports talk. So it's gonna be me and Gavin talking about whatever the hottest topics, basically, in the world of sports. And in today's episode of Know the Game, we're gonna be talking about some NBA. The Suns taking a commanding 3-1 lead over the Clippers in the Western Conference Finals, as well as the Bucks tying up the series in a blowout win against the Hawks. The NBA draft lottery order got released with the Pistons at the number one overall pick. We'll go over all of that stuff. Some MLB, the Dodgers getting no hit. All Star Phase 1 of All Star voting ended, and we'll end it off with some NFL talk around there. So, Gavin, let's lead off with the Phoenix Suns.
So the Suns yesterday took a commanding 3-1 lead against the Clippers. They won 84-80. Paul George again missing some clutch free throws.
Yeah.
As we saw in game what was it 2? Yeah, game 2 or 3, whatever game it was, but
seems like every game.
Clutch. And on the free throw line. So the Suns, they got the dub 84-80, and you got a lot of players scoring a lot of points, playing a lot of minutes. Devin Booker 25, Ayton 19. He got 22 rebounds. 22 rebounds for DeAndre Ayton. He has been tearing up this playoff series and this whole entire playoffs alone. He's just been tearing it up.
Yeah, I mean, bro, there's a lot of things to talk about. First of all, Paul George, a lot of people want to hate on him for being like playoff P. And that's like valid because in the past few playoff games and playoff runs, he's missed some clutch shots and just played bad. But also earlier in his career, he was really good in the playoffs. Anyways, recently he's been pretty bad, but he's also had really good games. Missing some free throws in game 3 really sucks because the Clippers could have won that game and tied the game at least if he knocked one of those shots down. He bricked them. And then last game 4, when the Suns went up 3-1, dude, like that was like a really like close game at the end,
Yeah.
Neither team could hit a shot in the fourth quarter, which was like crazy, which is why it was so low scoring. You think it'd be like a defensive game, but it was just like nobody can hit a shot. But, they got lucky. The Suns pulled through at the end with Paul George missing shots and stuff like that.
I saw a stat while watching the game. Chris Paul made 36 consecutive free throws, and then he missed one. And then that was just crazy. I was like, wow. Because that right there, since he missed that free throw, the Clippers are down by 3, so they just had to make a 3-point shot. And then DeMarcus Cousins? Yeah, he does not know how to hit a rim he does not know how to hit a rim in general.
Dude, he missed that by so much.
He intentionally missed a free throw, and it hit it top of the backboard. It was so crazy.
Dude.
But,
I also want to talk about DeAndre Ayton, bro, as my phone is like in the camera. DeAndre Ayton is like a beast, bro. This is his first ever playoff run, and he's like playing like he's been in the playoffs his entire career. Dude is like putting up double-doubles every game, getting like 20 rebounds, 16, 18 points. He's just like a beast for the Suns, bro.
And with Chris Paul sitting out the first 2 games of the season and Cameron Payne filling in for him, which was a surprising for Cameron Payne to be playing as well as he did first 2 games. But in game 3, when the Clippers won, and that was Chris Paul's first game back, I was like, wow, Chris Paul could actually be the how do you say it? Like, Chris Paul could be the reason how the Clippers, he's kind of a bad luck charm. But, game 4, they obviously proved that it's not the case.
Yeah, dude. Like, if you can win 2 games without Chris Paul and then add Chris Paul and then, like, just continue to win, like, it's going to be tough for the Clippers, but it's not impossible for them to come back.
Yeah, I know. Kawhi Leonard was so happy.
Dude.
And so we're going to move on to the Bucks taking game 2, tying the series 1-1 in a blowout. And
Yeah.
when I say blowout, I actually mean a blowout, 125-91. But it wasn't like that the whole third quarter or the fourth quarter or second quarter. I don't know the whole game. But they shut down Trae Young, which all the teams that they've played this series haven't been doing. Like no team has been able to shut down Trae Young, but the Bucks have done a really decent job of slowing him down this series.
Yeah, dude. First of all, the score of this game has been like the score of every single 2K game me and you have played.
Yes.
Like it was a blowout from the start. But it's gonna be a really good series like this. The Hawks came in game 1 and really showed like, bro, we may be the underdog, but like we're pretty good. And like we can win the series. And then the Bucks were like, you may be able to win this series, but we ain't gonna let you win it this easy. And then they come out and like kick the Hawks booty, bro. Like it was crazy. Trae Young was really cold. He was not really able to hit many shots. He only like 16 points, right? 16 points. I think that was at halftime when I saw that.
15.
Yeah, so he ended the game after coming off a playoff career high in game 1 to only putting up 15 points. Obviously, that's got to improve. I don't think he's going to play like this for the rest of the series, but
definitely not.
As long if the Bucks can clamp up on Trae Young, then they got this series in the bag, because then the Hawks have to have guys like Kevin Huerter and Gallinari and John Collins score, and you want those guys to score, but you need Trae Young if you want to win the series, and the Bucks just did a great job.
Yeah, if you look at the points by quarter, at the end of the first quarter, it was actually a pretty close game, 34-28. But in the second quarter, the Bucks scored 43 points, and the Hawks scored 17. And if you're only scoring 17 points in a quarter and giving up 43, you're not going to win the game. It doesn't matter what team you are, you're not going to win the game. It's just that.
Yeah, like
Giannis on the Bucks put up 25, and he only played 29 minutes. And a lot of stars in these playoffs are playing 35 to like 41 minutes a game. And when Giannis doesn't even crack 30 minutes, like they didn't have to play him a lot because they were winning by a lot the whole game. And you got guys like Jrue Holiday playing super good, 22 points. If Giannis isn't playing 30 minutes, you're getting blown out. That's just it.
Yeah, when you see Giannis on the bench in the fourth quarter, smiling, you gotta do better. And
yeah, it looks like the Bucks took really much offense to Trae Young's shimmy. But we're gonna move on.
Okay, before we move on, as we're recording this, it's game 3 of the Hawks Bucks. There's 46 seconds left. The Bucks are up 112-102. So they're gonna win this game and go up 2-1 against the Hawks. So I mean, we can talk about this. We will probably go in depth and talk about this game in another episode. But just as it's basically happening right now, the Bucks are up 2-1.
Yes. But now we're gonna move on to the NBA draft lottery. Happened a couple of days ago. The Pistons taking the number 1 pick in the draft. How do you think the Pistons, or who do you think the Pistons are gonna pick with this? Get with this pick. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah, I think they're gonna go with Davion Mitchell from Baylor. No, the obvious pick is Cade Cunningham. I think everybody, even Cade Cunningham, knows he's going to the Pistons.
Yes.
Probably not the team he'd want to go to, but he's going to the NBA, so it doesn't really matter. The Pistons are a very small market team. They're in the middle of a rebuild with they have some bright spots, but not a lot. They don't have a real star to build around in the future. So getting the first pick for them is just as important as the Pelicans getting Zion and the Grizzlies getting Ja Morant and the Hornets getting LaMelo Ball. This is the foundation piece for their rebuild. Cade Cunningham's a great playmaker, a great scorer, and with some guys like Killian Hayes and wherever else on that team, the Pistons, I won't say they have like the best future in the league because they don't, but it's a step in the right direction, and he's gonna be great for them, dude.
So I'm talking about just going over a quick summary of the top 14. Warriors got the 14th, Pacers got 13, Spurs got 12, Hornets got 11, Pelicans 10, Kings 9, Bulls 8, Warriors another pick 7, Thunder 6, Magic 5, Raptors 4, Cavs 3, and Rockets 2, and Pistons 1. So, I mean, Warriors with Clay healthy and having 2 top 14 picks in the draft with 14 and 7, if they pick the right players, they can be a pretty scary team.
Yeah, but they could also trade those, and that's what
Yeah, they can trade one of those picks.
Saying. They could trade one of the picks, or what they could do is trade like Kelly Oubre, or even Andrew Wiggins, and one or two of those picks, and get something, another impactful
possibly
piece.
Get a superstar of that.
Yeah, because they can go two ways. With the Warriors, they're trying to compete for a championship, but they have guys who are like in their mid-30s, or you can just continue to draft young guys like James Wiseman they drafted last year, and then you can draft like two guys at 8 and 14, and if they're good enough, then you can have like the passing of the torch from like Steph and Clay to James Wiseman and whoever they draft. So it's gonna be pretty interesting because like they could say, well, let's get a guy to help us win a ring, or let's get a guy to help us win a ring, but also be on this team for the next X amount of years from the draft.
So the Rockets were a team that traded their best player in how many years to a team that lost against the Bucks in the playoffs. James Harden. They traded James Harden away. This number 2 pick, every single person in the NBA, and is looking to see who's gonna fill in that role for James Harden. If they're gonna get another young buck that or they're gonna see if they can get the next James Harden on their team.
Yeah, sorry, the funniest thing happened, but I'm not gonna say it. Okay, so the Rockets, I think they're either gonna do two things. They're either gonna draft Evan Mobley from USC, 7-foot big man who can stretch the floor and play great defense, or they're gonna draft Jalen Green, who's not good on defense, but that doesn't matter because he can score like Bradley Beal. So you could draft a guy and have like a foundation of Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Jr., and Christian Wood, or you could draft a dude who can be like your next Hakeem Olajuwon kind of, in Evan Mobley. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Personally, I would take Evan Mobley just because he's good at defense and he's gonna provide effort on defense, and he can also shoot the three ball for being a 7-footer.
Well, Jalen Green is. I don't really know too much about it. I've heard, tiny stuff about it, but he didn't. He went to the G League. Thingy. I don't really know what it is, but he didn't go to college. I believe he went to the G League on a team. I don't really know what it is, but do you know stuff about the G League?
Not really. I know that they like played games in Orlando, like in the bubble area. But other than that, I don't really. All I know is that he played good in the G League. But other than that, I don't really know anything about it. Like I didn't pay attention.
Yeah, and the Cavs getting another pick in the top 3, with the number 3. Honestly, the Cavs the past couple years have been drafting. They got Colin Sexton. They drafted LeBron with the first pick, Kyrie with the first pick,
Darius Garland,
Anthony Bennett. But it's Andrew Wiggins. Dang, the Cavs have gotten a lot of number 1 picks.
Dude, they drafted Dion Waiters with the 4th pick.
Oh, okay. The Cavs. By the sounds of it, they are not really good at picking. But if you can get a guy that can score, and be just like Colin Sexton, be another or two guard or a big man, because they got a lot of holes to fill. They're not gonna win many games having Kevin Love and whoever else they have, because I don't know who they have, and Colin Sexton. But they're not gonna win a lot of games by just having those two guys.
I think
They could draft. I don't know, but so there's some guys like Jalen Green, or not Jalen Green, Jalen Suggs. Jalen Suggs coming off as really, really upset to Baylor. They can get if the Rockets don't get one of the two guys in Jalen Green or Evan Mobley, they can draft the other.
So if the Rockets don't take Mobley, the Cavs have to take him because they need like a big man because they have like guards already, and
Have a lot of guards.
yeah, and that'd be like the perfect fit.
And even if if the Rockets do draft Rockets, or if it, bro, I cannot speak right now. If the Rockets do draft Evan Mobley and Jalen Green is there, honestly, I want to take him if I were the Rock or the Cavs, because they got a lot of guards. You got a lot of 1 and 2s.
I would trade out.
Possibly trade
Yeah.
back
Yeah.
and get a guy like maybe Jonathan Kuminga out of the G League, small forward. You can get a guy Scotty Barnes, small forward, out of Florida State. But who knows? Who knows what? Because you never know. Maybe Cade Cunningham doesn't even go number 1 to the Pistons. And if that does happen, if that does happen, I don't know what will happen to the.
If that happens, beside the fact that the Pistons would be the most stupid people of all time, I would lose my mind, dude. Like that would be crazy. But dude, if like Mobley goes to the Cavs should trade out to maybe like a team like the Magic have some picks. The Thunder have like 3 first-round picks.
And
The
they got so many
Warriors,
more picks in the future.
you could trade with one of those teams.
Yeah, the Magic, I believe, have the 8th pick via Chicago, and so that's the Magic have 5 and 8, so they could possibly trade out one of those picks and get some picks in the future, pick their player. I don't know.
Yeah. You could get a guy at both those picks and have 2 guys for the future, or you could be like, dude, I want Jalen Suggs or I want Jalen Green, and then either way.
A lot of a dude that rose up through the draft stock, Davion Mitchell, because he was outstanding in March Madness. And if you're somebody to say that he wasn't, and you don't watch March Madness, but he was really good, really, really good in the Baylor versus Gonzaga game. The upset. A lot, and I mean a lot of upsets in March Madness. It was the craziest thing. It was so crazy. But David Mitchell rising through the draft stock. Some people got him going. Looking at this draft prediction, this dude has him going number 7 to the Warriors.
That's what I've seen. Yeah, I've heard a lot about that. Like and stuff that I watch and stuff. It's like, bro, the Warriors gonna take him.
Yeah, I think we talked about NBA a lot, so we're gonna move on to MLB stuff. Lot and lots to talk about. Number 1, the Dodgers have been on and off this past week. They got swept by the Padres. Me and Connor actually went to game 2 of that series in San Diego. Stadium was so beautiful.
Serious.
The Dodgers almost pulled the comeback in the bottom of the 9th or top of the 9th, but didn't. Mark Melanson is probably my new favorite closer now because his intro to get onto the field is so sick. Jake Cronenworth's like celebration when he hits a home run to the first base coach
Bro,
is so sick.
it's so sick, dude. If I can find the clip, I'm gonna insert it in the video. But if I can't, then it looks like this. So
Yeah,
sick.
it's pretty much he's running up to the first base coach and he points at him, pulls out the gun, boom, and it's so sick. But yeah, the Dodgers got swept by the Padres, and then the next game they played against the Chicago Cubs, they got no combined no hitter on. You know, it feels like the Dodgers, after every single time they lose to the Padres, they just go down. They can't win any games. But after that they picked it up. They won the next 3 games. Clay Bellinger via a walk off, the Dodgers' first walk off of the season. And then just a little bit ago, they won 7-1 to win the series. Clayton Kershaw with 13 strikeouts, looking like Cy Young Kershaw. But yeah, what do you gotta say about that stuff?
You know, so starting with the Padres series, like I would say 2 out of the 3 games were kind of like what I thought they'd be like. Like when I think of the Dodgers and Padres, and when we decided to go to those games, I thought it'd be like a playoff type game, like super close. The first game was not close at all, 6-2 in favor of the Padres. But the next 2 games, they were close. Even though the Dodgers struggled in the series, pitching and hitting. The second game was a 1-run game. And wasn't the third game a 1-run game? No, it was like a 2-run game, I believe, right?
No, I'm pretty sure they were both same score. I don't know.
But they were
It
close.
doesn't change the fact that they got swept.
Yeah. And, they struggled on both sides of the ball against the Padres. Their pitching was not good. And offensively, they just left a lot of guys on base. And I know in the game that we went to, they left 10 runners on base.
Yes.
Which, I mean, you can't leave 10 runners on base in a game, especially if
you
you're
can't
trying
leave 10 runners on base and end up with 2 runs.
Yeah. You have to drive those guys in, and they didn't do that. And I know Mookie didn't play the final 2 games because he wasn't feeling great. And then Bellinger came back in the third game. Muncy came back in the second game. But at the end of the day, like they did not play good. And then they got no hit.
They got no hit.
And
we were at me and Connor were both at our grandpa's camp, and we were playing wiffle ball, baseball. I think we were playing wiffle ball outside in the front, and then we came back, and then our Aunt Claire was like, "They're getting no hit," and I was like, "Bro, what the heck? Are you kidding me?" Because I'm a Dodgers fan, and I do not like that. Because after getting swept by the Padres and getting no hit, that is not fun.
And you were saying like every time we play the Padres and we lose, we start to suck. And like, bro, once they got no hit, I was like, are they about to go on a lot of L streak or like take a lot of losses? And that's what it looked like. But then they win these next 3 games against the Cubs, walk off fashion, 13 strikeout fashion. AJ Pollock puts them ahead on the Friday night game.
Zach McKinstry getting a grand slam.
Dude, I was watching
Cody
that.
Bellinger getting a 2-run home run right after.
Cody's back, man.
Right after he hits a freaking walk off. Joe Buck is the freaking driest commentator ever. Like, it was so boring because he hit the walk off and he said Dodgers win it 2 or 3-2 right after and didn't say anything else. And then Matt Sturgeon commentated the Dodger game today. So boring. Just give us Joe Davis and Orr Horseasher back because they're the best. But yeah, the Dodgers. I do believe what you said. Cody Bellinger could be back, could not be back. Dealt with the hamstring and leg injuries this year. I don't think he's played 20 games this year. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I don't know, but he's not played a lot of games because of injuries. But moving on to the Pirates pitcher. His MLB debut was today, I believe. Or yeah, today. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. Max. Do you know how to say his last name?
Dude.
Kranick.
I don't freaking know.
But he went perfect in his MLB debut through 5 innings, but he got cut short because of a rain delay That is so sad. He
Serious.
got cut short of a perfect game in Galen history because of a rain delay. Had no hits allowed, no walks through 5 innings, only had 3 strikeouts. But hey, it's a perfect game, so
Dude.
it doesn't matter about the strikeouts. But he looked pretty good out there. Um, they could have a future star in their belts, in their pockets.
This could have been the bright spot of the Pirates season, dude. Like right
They
now,
are they are catching up with the Cardinals, who used to be in like first place of all of baseball.
right now, in my opinion, the bright spot for the Pirates' entire season isn't even a bright spot; it's a negative one. The Javi Baez play, like the first base
Yes.
right back. But dude, if he threw a no hitter, bro, it would have been great. This is his major league debut. Like, what kind of better major league debut could you ask for? I threw a perfect game, and it sucks that they had a rain delay because if they didn't, it's not guaranteed that he would have a perfect game. But you never know. He could have thrown one, and it sucks that we have to miss out on that. But you can still appreciate the performance he had, which was phenomenal.
Speaking about the Pirates, Brian Hayes, that throw that he had to throw Yadier Molina out was one of the craziest throws I've seen in my entire life. He
Yeah,
was literally in the third base coach box, and he threw a dot, a dime, a laser, whatever you want to call it, to the freaking first baseman, Colin Moran, I'm pretty sure who it was. And it was so, like, it was this close. It was that close to being called safe, but he got him out, which was crazy.
dude. I've
If
seen
it
so
was
many.
if it was anybody else other than Yadier Molina, they would have been safe. But no, he's slow and like 50 years old, so he
I've
got
seen
caught out.
like so many good third baseman plays in my life. Matt Chapman, Machado, all these great third basemen.
Arenado.
Arenado, even Rendon sometimes. But bro, the play by Brian Hayes was the best third baseman play and throw I've seen in my entire life. Like that throw was crazy.
And honestly, it didn't even look like it was going so far. Like it honestly looked like it wasn't even going to get him out. But then it just got him out somehow because it's Yadier Molina.
If it was anyone else, he's safe.
Yes. And so we're talking about the next thing right now. The NL All Star, or NL, just All Star game in general. Finalist. We're gonna talk about, is it, some of the guys that got snubbed, some of the guys that shouldn't, be in it at all, some of the guys that are just right. So first off, we got the American League, starting with DH. Uh, Shohei Ohtani is first, JD Martinez, and then Jordan Alvarez. Honestly, I think that's pretty much right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I I don't really know if I would put Shohei at like right field, DH, or pitcher. Honestly, I wouldn't. I don't know, but I think he fits well at the DH spot.
Yeah. They got that right. The voters got that right 100%. Along with like a lot of things like Guerrero Jr., Semien, Devers, Bogart, like all the guys in first place deserve to be in first place.
hmm
Okay, hold up. I just noticed this on the catcher's spot in the AL. I had no idea Martin Maldonado was
Yeah,
second in voting.
I was just about to say that, bro.
Bro.
So yeah, going in catchers,
What?
American League, first place. No surprise there. Salvi. Yeah, Salvador Perez of the Kansas City Chiefs. Just kidding, Kansas City Royals. Um, no surprise there. He's been killing it all year long. Second place. I don't know how this guy made it to
Seriously.
second place. Martin Maldonado.
Bro.
And even Yasmani Grandal, even though he's like really good at drawing walks, he cannot hit to save his life this year. Doesn't even have he has like a 170 batting average, and it's terrible. But honestly, I think like Gary Sanchez maybe got snubbed. A lot of guys
Oh,
right
Gary Sanchez
there.
definitely got snubbed. Are you kidding me, bro? I'm looking
Yeah,
at I'm looking at Maldonado's stats. He's batting 171 with 5 bombs. So like he obviously got voted in as a troll, which is so silly because he should not be this far.
Yeah, honestly, fan voting is pretty much a joke. I take mine pretty much like kind of serious because except for one, I voted like all the Dodgers into it just because I wanted to do that. But it's kind of a joke because they just like vote people that they be funny to be in the All Star game, people that don't even deserve to be in the All Star game. But I don't know. Yasmani Grandal, honestly, even though he's good at drawing walks this year with like 40 something whatever, I don't think he deserves really to be in the All Star game because he just isn't hitting the ball well.
Yeah.
But what do you say?
We should talk about some snubs because I have a few, and these
Well, yes,
really.
we're gonna talk about snubs in each position.
Okay. First, AL catcher Max Stassi of the Angels. Now, listen, he's not on the ballot. Kurt Suzuki is, so you'd have to write in Max Stassi. Okay, but I can pull up Max Stassi's stats, and he doesn't play every day, and he's been injured this season. But on the 2021 season, he has 5 bombs, batting 299. Like he's better. He's having a better season than Maldonado and maybe Osmani Grandal. I know Grandal has leading the league in walks, but better than Martin Maldonado. And this one is first baseman, American League. This one, if this dude's not an All Star, I'm going to just lose my. I'm gonna quit life. Jared freaking Walsh, dude, of the Angels. I'm an Angels fan, and I can say every Angels player should be an All Star, but I'm not. I don't do that because a lot of our guys suck. Jared Walsh has 18 home runs, has like 50 RBIs, is hitting near 300, has like a really high OPS. This dude should be an all-star. He's not top 3 in first baseman voting. If he's not an all-star, frick MLB baseball forever.
Okay, so National League catchers, we got Buster Posey, Yachty, and then Wilson Contreras. I'm kind of fine with that, really, except for I don't really know about Yachty. I don't really know what he's been doing this year because I don't really pay attention to him because he doesn't really do anything like a lot of years in hitting category. But like you said, Max Stassi, I don't know, he can fill in for Yachty, but he has been injured. He has been injured a lot this season. But I don't know. So moving on to first base, American League. No surprise here, Vladdy, and then also no surprise, Yuli Gurriel. Third though, Jose Abreu. You could, like you said, put Jared Walsh there. I would put Jared Walsh there instead of Jose Abreu. But Vladdy has been killing it this year. He's pretty much the MVP right now, the American League. Yeah, no surprise there in the top two right there, first and second. But pretty much surprised by the third one, Jose Abreu.
Yeah, like Jose Abreu's good. He won MVP last year, and he's a good player. I just think he's not having as good of a season as Jared Walsh.
Yeah. So National League, pretty much, a lot of these ones are pretty much no surprises because there are just no surprises that they should be in here. So
yeah, it deserves.
Max Muncy deserves to be in here first, or Freddie Freeman second, and then Anthony Rizzo third. I don't really know any first baseman in the National League right now on top of my head other than these three people right here. So I can't really think of anybody.
Yeah.
And then second base American League, Marcus Semien, Jose Altuve, and DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu had a really long cold streak earlier in the season. He's been picking it up recently, but Jose Altuve has been outstanding in a way. Hopefully they're not banging on a trash can, but he's been proving the haters wrong, and I'm a Dodgers fan, so I'm not one to just say that he's gonna suck for the rest of his career, but which he deserves to, but he's all that they got. Astros got 7 All Stars. They got 7. And that they're basically proving, we don't need to cheat, but we did it anyways. And
Yeah.
Marcus Simeon, also has been killing it for the Blue Jays. So, you got the Blue Jays first baseman in Vladdy and the Blue Jays second baseman in Marcus Simeon. Putting up MVP numbers again. I don't know.
You
Yeah,
know,
he's been outstanding.
a spot in the a spot that should like be talked about kind of. It's not like controversial or anything. Like I agree with the votes, in the AL outfield, Trout and Buxton are first and third in voting. And like
Let's just
those
let's
guys.
just let's just get to there first. Let's just
Okay.
get there.
I didn't know
Just
we were going position by position.
well, we are
Okay.
National League second baseman. Ozzy Albies, Adam Frazier, and then Gavin Lux. I'm a Dodgers fan. I do not think Gavin Lux should be here because he is bad right now. Um, who do you think should be right there instead of Gavin Lux? You got Albies and Frazier.
I would consider Chris Taylor as a second baseman. And he's just as an outfielder, and Chris Taylor plays so many positions. I don't know where he plays like every day because it seems like he plays a new spot every day. I think he should be in there at second base instead of Lux. But yeah,
American League shortstop. Bogarts, Bichette, and Carlos Correa, another Astro, and Xander Bogaerts has been killing it for the Red Sox this year. No surprise there. National League for Tatis, Baez, and Brandon Crawford. Brandon Crawford has been surprising this league this year, and so has the Giants. First team
yeah.
to 50 wins this year. Javier Baez has been pretty decent. Fernando Tatis Jr. possibly an NL MVP. Who knows? Um, it's crazy that he's been injured quite some time this year, and has like tied second home runs or whatever.
Hmm.
Third base, American League, Rafael Devers, Bregman, and Yoel Moncada. And then National League, Chris Bryant, Nolan Arenado, and Justin Turner. And I think those are pretty much right there.
Yeah, I know. I voted for Austin Riley earlier in the All Star voting from the Braves, but
Mm.
he's kind of cooled off a lot since. So like, I agree with these NL third base ones, and even the AL ones. Like they're accurate.
We were moving on to the outfielders. Mike Trout, Aaron Judge, and Buxton. Uh, Mike Trout and Buxton should not be in the All Star game because they have not played in so long. Well, Buxton has, but he's injured again. Mike Trout, and even though they're both like leading the league and whatever they're leading the league in, they should not be in the All Star game. Other people deserve to be in the All Star game and actually have been playing this year.
I think when you look at the times they've played, and if they didn't get injured, they would project to be these, starters.
Yeah.
I think they deserve to be all stars. They're not going to play because Buxton's going to be injured and Trout won't come back in time. So I think they'll be all stars most likely, and they'll just get replaced by other guys. But a dude who I think should be way up here and should be higher than probably Byron Buxton or even Trout is Cedric Mullins, bro.
Yes, he is
Dude
seventh.
is so underrated. He's a beast. Probably the best player on the Baltimore Orioles, and he deserves to be up here and probably be a starter in the All Star game.
And fourth, we got Michael Brantley, another Astro. And fifth, if you're going to say that he does not deserve to be in this, you're crazy. Adolis Garcia has been tearing it up for the Texas Rangers. Rookie of the Year, no doubt in anybody's mind.
Yeah, in the AL, he's definitely Rookie of the Year unless like Wander Franco pops off the rest of the season. But yeah, man.
You got sixth, Teoscar Hernandez, and another Blue Jay. And then seventh, who should be way higher, Cedric Mullins. 8, Alex Verdugo. And then ninth, Randall Grichuk of the Blue Jays.
A lot of the same teams.
Yeah, which I don't know. I don't really know what to say about that because a lot of teams they need players to to win games. But like the Astros leading the league in All Star 7, and then Cubs, and then Dodgers, and whoever else with like 5. So yeah, a lot of teammates. And then we're gonna move on to the national outfield. Acuna, Castellanos, Jesse Winker, Mookie Betts, Chris Taylor, Juan Soto, Bryce Harper, Jock Peterson, and Mikey Strzemski. Personally, I do not think Mookie Betts should be up here because he has been cold this start of the season, but he's back to a hot um, right now. He's hot right now. So Chris Taylor should be higher. Mikey Strzemski should be higher. Yeah.
If I could order this list, I would go Acuna, Castellanos, Winker, Taylor, Yastrzemski, Soto, Harper, Betts, Peterson. Mookie Betts, like I have him on my fantasy baseball team. To start the season, really not good in any way, and then like he started to pick it up recently, and like playing like Mookie Betts does. Chris Taylor should be higher than Mookie because Chris Taylor has like been really good at life.
Yeah, he's been really good this year, like really, really good.
Yeah, but the top 3 I agree with in Castellanos, Winker, and Acuna. Like those guys deserve to be the starters in the NL.
Okay, so now that we got talked about all that, oh yeah, the snubs. I'm gonna go over back to the National League second base. Instead of Gavin Lux, I would put Jake Cronenworth there.
Oh yes.
Because Jake Cronenworth, other than his nasty celebration, he has been tearing it up for the San Diego Padres this year. He has like a 100 something OPS plus, and Gavin Lux has like an 88 OPS plus.
Yeah, I saw
you
that.
You cannot be an all-star with that. Like, if you're gonna have a like 30 plus, like 30 higher OPS plus than somebody, and that guy's an all-star, they should not be an all-star. You should be an all-star.
It's crazy. It's funny. The league average for OPS plus is 100, and Gavin Lux has an 88, so he's lower than league average, and he's second in the voting. Meanwhile, third.
Oh. Yeah, he's third. Adam Frazier, second.
Well, but then a guy like Jake Cronenworth has an above average OPS plus and is not top 3. So the hate against Jake is real.
True. Now, we're going to move over to the Yankees. The Yankees have been so bad, so cold this season. I don't know what it is with the Yankees, but they are bad. Like, it is so bad. They got swept by the Red Sox. Garrett Cole, before he even got through one inning, 0.2 innings. 0.2 innings. 4 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, and 1 walk.
That's a horrible stat line to start a game.
2 outs. 0.2. You're going to tell me that you gave up 4 hits and all of those guys went around and scored, and you gave up 1 walk, dude. You're Garrett Cole. This is proving that he needs sticky stuff to win in ball games. This is he's literally turning into Pittsburgh Pirates Garrett Cole right now.
That's a hot take, but I mean, he's like doing that. Like, there's no excuse for a pitcher to be that bad to start a game. But there's depending on who you are. Okay,
unless you're in MLB The Show and you're literally playing on the beginner and you swing at the first pitch every single time, you suck.
But when you're the second best pitcher in baseball, getting paid $300 million, you cannot start a game like this, bro. You didn't even finish the inning, and you already gave up 4 runs.
Bro, you cannot be making $36 million a year and not even finishing a freaking inning.
Horrible start. Dude, the Yankees, bro, this year they've been so disappointing.
The Yankees are literally in 4th place in the AL East right now.
Everybody says Dodgers-Yankees World Series to start the season, too.
Bro. I mean, they're only 6.5 games back, but, I guess, and the Red Sox are in first, and the Rays are in second. You're not catching up to those teams, bro. You may catch up to third place with the Blue Jays because you're only 5.5 games behind them. But no, you're not going to. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if the Yankees fall to fifth place and the Orioles jump up to fourth.
If if they want to make the playoffs, they have to win the division or get second place. Because like
That is
the A's or Astros is getting the wild card. The Indians are only 3 games out of the wild card, so they could make it if they go on a run.
I mean, it's only June. It's only June. You never
It's
know what can
almost, I mean, it's
happen.
basically July. It's like June 29th or
27th, but
27th. So
yeah, July, start of July, basically. You need to pick. This is a time in place right now to pick up and change and adjust to everything you've been doing wrong. This is the time of the season to adjust and pick up what you've been doing wrong. Because if you're going to keep on doing the same thing and you're going to be losing games, you're not going to make the playoffs.
if they want, if I'm the Yankees by whatever date, so like before the All Star break is when I would do it. If before the All Star break you're not in third place, or if you're not in second or third place, but when I say third place, if you're not like within 1 game of second place, then they need to just sell. Like they have to start trading guys that are going to be free agents, like Gary Sanchez and Corey Kluber, even though he's injured. Like they just have to start selling because this season is just going to be a waste and a really disappointing season for the Yankees, dude. Like you cannot be predicted in 85% of people's preseason predictions to go to the World Series and not make playoffs.
As I said, we're moving on. As I said about the sticky situation stuff, the first MLB ejection of sticky situations happened today. Hector Santiago of the Seattle Mariners got ejected in their game. The inning that he got taken out. He gave up 2 walks, 2 hits, and then he got checked and then got ejected. He said he didn't use anything. 10-game suspension, got fined. You got to know that they're getting checked. You're getting checked on this stuff now. You're going to get ejected. You're going to get fined. You're going to be suspended for 10 games. You got to know that you cannot be using this stuff.
Dude,
And
like,
you didn't know that.
He said it was sweat and rosin. That's what he said. That's what the manager said. That's what he said in the press conference of the game. Like,
He's watching Trevor Bauer's vlogs.
Bro, this is what Bauer was saying. How is the umpire going to know if you're using sweat and rosin or if you're using something that, like, spider tack or pine tar or something like that? How are they going to know? Because sweat and rosin, like Bauer was saying, bro.
Legal or illegal?
Like he was saying, bro.
Wait, how are you doing that?
Legal. You thought I was actually doing it?
Yeah.
But no, dude, like sweat and rosin mixed up gets sticky. Like Bauer was saying. Like, listen. I don't know if you can hear it.
Illegal.
But dude,
it's crazy.
Whether or not he was actually using something illegal, Hector Santiago, or whether he was just using sweat and rosin that like got sticky, like he says, the situation that MLB put themselves in for the remainder of the season is horrible. They should just let pitchers use whatever they want for the rest of the season.
Bro, that is literally what Rob Manfred said. He said pitchers at the start of next year, they're going to crack down on sticky substances. They're going to stop it at the start of next year. He said they can keep on doing what they're going to do this year. They're not going to stop it this year. And what do? They stop it in the middle of June. You can't stop something that they are already used to and already doing in the middle of the season. That is literally what happened to Tyler Glass now, saying he's blaming the injury on the sticky situation stuff. But hey, man, Ron Griffin is a joke of a commissioner.
And then if you're gonna implement it this year, you can't do it the way they did. Like you can't just put a blanket over everything and say if it's sticky, you're done.
They gotta give the umpires. They gotta give the umpire stuff to work around, work around with. Like You
This
gotta know. You gotta tell him like, hey man, I'm using sweat. I'm using rosin, and then the umpires be like, okay, you do that, and then like, it's completely illegal. I'm using sweat and rosin. Let me use it. And
this is
you
why
gotta tell them before the game. If they said yes, do it. If they said no, then don't. That's basically it.
they should wait till the off season, because you give the players time to adapt to new stuff. And then if you were like, you can use sweat and rosin or sunscreen and rosin, but you can't use other stuff, then you can tell the umpires, you can give them training. You can be like, okay, so this is what sweat and rosin feels like. This is what spider tack feels like. Okay, now I know that when I go check Hector Santiago's glove, that, you know what, man, that is spider tack. Or you know what, that's just sweat and rosin, huh? He's like, yeah, man, it's just sweat and rosin. All right, you're chilling.
It's pretty much of a joke now because you can't just tell people to change what they're doing. They're already doing it. But the an embarrassing loss. Embarrassing loss for the Padres. Embarrassing loss. They lost 10-1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks, worst team in baseball.
Oh, if you're gonna lose 10-1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks, you suck.
Yes.
And Arizona Padres fan, we were at the game on Tuesday, whatever day it was. Let's go! Let's go! Freak the BLA! BLA! Yeah, we're gonna make it in second place. Nope. Like Draymond Green once said, nope. You're not making it to second place when you're losing 10-1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks that literally haven't even. They're 22-57. 2 of the last 10. Like, bro, they literally set the record for most road losses in a row. They set the record at MLB history. You can't do that, bro. You can't. You just can't.
I know John Boy said that if a team gets swept by the Tigers, then they won't make the playoffs, and the Yankees got swept by the Tigers. I think if you lose the Diamondbacks, you should just lose your MLB team, to be honest.
You should just retire. The whole entire team should retire. See, with that loss, if they won that game, they would be in first place or second place. But now that they lost that game, they're a half game behind the Dodgers, which are 4 games behind the Giants. And the Giants and Dodgers are playing a 4-game series this tomorrow or Tuesday, whatever day it is. Tuesday.
It's a 2-game series.
Oh, 2-game series. I thought it was a 4-game series. My bad.
Yeah, I don't know why they're playing a 2-game series and they're in the same division. That's retarded. Or that's
why I thought.
I'd like to apologize for saying the R word. My bad. It's silly that they're playing a 2-game series and they're in the same division.
Yes. Okay. We talked about. Oh, actually, I want to add one more thing.
Okay.
Jacob DeGrom sets a record for the lowest ERA by the month of June with a 0.69 ERA. He gave up 2 runs the other day against the Phillies. That's the most runs he's given up all year in a single game. 2 runs. 2.
Bro is just good at life.
And he doesn't even need sticky stuff to prove that.
Yeah. Jacob DeGrom is really good.
Garrett Cole is it. So we're gonna move on to the NFL.
Oh wait, you know what? Before we move on, we didn't talk about NC State.
Oh yeah.
They did it from the free College World Series.
So
COVID protocols.
Yeah, the College World Series is going on right now. Vanderbilt is currently going to play Mississippi State.
They're playing Texas, I think.
No.
I thought they were playing Texas. I thought Texas won.
Well, ESPN tweeted out, or they posted that.
Oh, yeah, they are playing Mississippi State. Whoops.
Yeah, so Vanderbilt was 1 game I don't really watch college anything, but what you told me, they were one game, they were one loss away from being eliminated out of the whole entire playoffs, and then they won against NC State, and then what does NC State do? They get freaking ejected or whatever from the whole entire playoffs because of COVID protocols. You can't like you're not just gonna delay the game back. These kids worked so hard to get to where they were now, and you're just going to stop them from playing because of COVID protocols.
Dude, you
You
can't
can
even
literally
use.
delay the game back. You can delay the game back a couple days, but no, you're just gonna eliminate them from the playoffs. There's the whole thing.
How are you gonna use COVID protocols as an excuse when you have a entire stadium filled with fans? You
Bro.
can't do
And
that, bro.
and if you're gonna eliminate NC State for COVID protocols, literally eliminate Vanderbilt because they were literally playing with them too. So
Yeah,
at this point, just give Mississippi State the freaking ring, bro. Just give them the ring because you can't just freaking eliminate one team and not eliminate the other team for them being in contact.
I think it's the biggest joke because at this point, coronavirus is like dead, bro. Like stadiums are at full capacity across the country. Teams aren't wearing masks anymore. Teams aren't getting COVID tested every single day. Like, bro,
People at the
life
grocery stores aren't wearing
they
masks.
are
People out in public aren't
life
wearing
is
masks.
normal. Life is normal. Sports stadiums are normal. Sports is back to normal, and you're gonna have a full crowd in Omaha that is sitting next to each other, eating food, coughing, sneezing, breathing, crying, laughing, all over each other. And then you're gonna be like, you know what? You guys broke COVID protocols, or three of your guys got COVID, or whatever, and be like, bye. Like, bro, you can't do that, bro. Like NC State, a lot of people had them winning the going to the national championship and winning it.
They
You
weren't
can't,
even
no.
ranked. They literally weren't even ranked, and they beat the one seed, bro.
They beat the one seed. They were the Cinderella story. They were like, dude, this is the underdog story that everybody likes to
They
see.
were
It
they're literally
happened.
Oral Roberts of the freaking MLB or the college.
And they easily could have won against Vanderbilt the
They
final
just
game of
needed
the
to win. They
series.
just needed to win one game.
Yeah. And then it would have been like a game 7 against Vanderbilt, basically. And then you play Mississippi State, or at the time Texas, but now Mississippi State in the freaking finals, which you can easily win, bro. It's so sad that these kids just were this close, and then NCAA was like, get out of here.
It's like you can't. They worked their whole entire season for that one chance, to make it to make the World Series, and you just send them off
Just to
like it
get
was
into the
nothing.
playoffs. Like, a lot of them just wanted to get there and then see what happens. And then they made it so far, bro. The NCAA, I'm never going to be an NCAA athlete because I'm not good enough. But I
I
can
I
criticize
may
them.
I may be for football. You never know. If you're watching this, remember Gavin Larson, uh, USC.
Whatever I say, I truly mean. And he doesn't have to say anything about the NCAA. But look, they freaking suck at everything in the world. They don't want to pay. I don't think they should pay the players.
They
I don't
they
really think
should.
so.
They honestly they should.
I think they should allow them to market off their name and their likeness and all of that, and like create YouTube
Yeah.
content, like destroying and whatever. But dude, and then you shouldn't like the NCAA just sucks at everything they do because they think they're doing the right thing, but in all reality, they're doing the wrong thing in every
They
single way.
they literally don't even know how to make a freaking football game, bro.
Seriously, they're like, you know what? We won't let you make a video game about college sports because our dudes can't make money off of it. We won't let them. Like, who
But like
cares?
honestly, they should pay him because unless you get like a full ride scholarship, you're gonna have to pay for the scholarship, and people are gonna have to study like film like for football. This is for football because I'm a football player. People are gonna have to study like game film. They're gonna have to study plays. they're gonna have to go to practice, and they're gonna have to probably get a job, and they're probably gonna have to work, and then to pay for their scholarship, pay rent for their little house or whatever. They gotta pay them. They gotta pay them, bro. They have to. The whole NCAA, everything is so dumb.
Seriously.
But so I'm pretty sure we're done talking about how trash NCAA is. We're gonna go to segment 3, which is the NFL. Honestly, Steelers are like bad at life now because they released their all-pro offense lineman, David DeCastro. Like, you're gonna tell me if like a 39, 40 or whatever how old Big Ben is? I mean, Marquise Pouncey or whatever his name is, one of the two brothers, he retired, and that's one less dude to protect Big Ben, and then you release your all-pro offensive lineman, David DeCastro. You can't do that, bro. You just can't. I don't care what team you're. You're not allowed to do that.
Like, I don't think they needed. I don't think he was like a cap casualty. It's not like they needed to cut him because they didn't have money. And even if so, they could just restructure contracts. Like, dude, you have a 39-year-old quarterback who can't move, and then not only that, he's an all-pro offensive lineman. One of your guys retired, so now your O-line is most likely going to be really bad next year. It's not going to be good next year, probably.
Yeah, and keep in mind that they drafted Najee Harris, a running back, with their first-round selection, and running backs can't do good if their O-linemen are doing bad.
Yeah.
It's just that simple. And if you're going to release one of your offensive linemen, that's just one less dude to block for your rookie running back who you guys believe in. And if you want him to succeed, you need good O-linemen.
Yeah, I don't understand this move at all for the Steelers. Like, if you want to, I don't really think they would have made the playoffs this season. But if you want a chance of making the playoffs and you don't have a good running back, you don't have a good offense, you need a good offensive line, and you just got rid of your best offensive lineman. Why?
Because they suck. So the Buccaneers, they re-signed all 22 of their starters. That means 11 on offense and 11 on defense. They re-signed every single one of them to come back. And keep in mind that they won the Super Bowl last year.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're going to re-sign all of your players that just won a Super Bowl with you, you may win another Super Bowl. Who knows? But let's do you think the Bucs could repeat? Yes or no?
Yes.
I do. The thing is,
I think I don't want to say repeat Super Bowl, but I think they're going to come. I'll say that.
What'd you say? You cut out.
Oh, sorry. I'm not going to say Super Bowl. Like, they could definitely win the Super Bowl, but I will say they'll come out of the NFC.
Yeah. Let's say they don't win the Super Bowl. Who do you have, or even make it to the Super Bowl? Who do you have going out on top of them?
So, in the NFC, I really think there's a few teams that can come out. I think the Rams, addition of Matthew Stafford, one of the best defenses in the league, best defense last year.
They also added Deshaun Jackson.
Yeah, they have a great wide receiver core, a great running back in Cam Akers. So the Rams could be serious. In the NFC, the Cardinals, a lot of people are sleeping on them. The NFC West odds came out for like who's going to win the division. The Cardinals were plus 600. They're at the bottom. I think the Cardinals have a chance, to win the division, and I like them to possibly come out of the NFC.
I think the Cardinals have a better chance than the Seahawks.
I think so too, because the Seahawks O-line sucks.
Yes,
Their
and
defense is
a lot of people forgot. A lot of people forgot about this though. Russell Wilson like wanted out of Seattle.
yeah,
Like I completely forgot about it until like what you just said right now about the O line.
yeah.
Because he
Like he
was
was
like, dude,
trash.
my O lineman sucks. I
Yeah,
want out of here.
yeah. The 49ers also, I think, could come out of the NFC. The Packers, if
Oh,
Aaron Rodgers
definitely.
plays. So, there's like the three NFC West teams could challenge the Bucks. The Packers could challenge the Bucks. I'm not gonna say the Cowboys. Everybody on like ESPN and stuff's gonna be like the Cowboys can definitely win the Super Bowl. I'm not gonna say it because
I'm a
the Cowboys
Cowboys fan, and I do not think that. I barely even think we'll make the playoffs because we suck.
yeah. The football team's not gonna do much. The Giants, I think, will be good. I think they could be a playoff team. I don't think they'll do it. And then the NFC South is just the Bucks. So yeah, but then the AFC, Chiefs, 100%.
Obviously.
The
I mean,
Browns,
yes. The Browns got cheated on their AFC championship by the Chiefs. As long as the Chiefs don't put like what's his face, Chad Henne, then I think the Chiefs or the Browns could win. But I don't know.
I also think the Ravens possibly, you
Honestly,
know,
if you get Lamar Jackson playing in the playoffs like he does in the regular season, and if you get a good receiver, a good receiving core, a good defense, then you could.
yeah,
Actually, I
they
don't.
added Watkins, they added a dude in the draft. They still have Marquise Brown.
Marcus Brown is low key overrated.
Yeah, but also this team like defensively needs to get really, really, really good to be like competitive. But the Titans, they have a really nice team. And then the last team I can think of, possibly. Okay, actually, there's two more because I forgot about them. The Indianapolis Colts, one of the best
You know,
defenses in the league.
honestly, I think I'm a Cowboys fan, and I did not like Carson Wentz. I honestly think he could have a bounce back year with the Indianapolis Colts. Honestly, I don't think the Eagles were playing him right
Yeah,
to how he played. He had an MVP type season, then got injured, and then he was never really the same after that. And then the Eagles were like, "Bro, you suck. Get out of my life." And then they traded him to the Colts for like nothing.